Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. It's great to see all of you and to have you all on board. The content that we're going to present today, we're going to try to keep to our time as best as we can. We know you're all busy, so what we'll do is we will present through the content and the demo. And then I ask that if there are any questions, then maybe at 11:45 when we complete, if you can just hang on the line, and we're very happy to stay and just chat and answer any questions. All right, I'm going to start the presentation. So the agenda for today is we're talking about educating, exciting you guys around WhatsApp, and then empowering you by showing you what we can actually do with the Boomerang builder, and also how you can all get going. The workshop is, I know there's a wide range of people. Some of you are quite technical, and some of you don't feel particularly technical. And so if you've got any development skills, there may be certain areas of this presentation that are not really relevant to you, but when we get to the Boomerang builder, you will, I think, get some value. All right. So just to explain why WhatsApp is relevant, and again, bearing in mind that we're quite a wide audience with a lot of different levels of experience, we're just going to cover the basics and then we'll move forward. So currently in South Africa, or as of last year, there were over 38 million South African WhatsApp users. So 90% of South African internet users are using WhatsApp, and it is by a country mile the biggest messaging app in the world. And in the South African context, it's really, really relevant because even consumers, low LSM consumers with very basic phones are able to use WhatsApp to communicate. I'm going to quickly talk about WhatsApp for Business because there are two flavors of WhatsApp. There's WhatsApp for Business, and then there's WhatsApp API. And I just want to make sure that we all have that foundation moving forward. So what is WhatsApp for Business? It's a tool that's been designed for small businesses. It is really perfect if you need a simple, free, effective way to communicate with a small group of consumers. So imagine a bakery who has a set of customers that might ask questions from time to time, and generally it's someone who's got 5 or 6 inquiries per day. So essentially, it's for small businesses. It supports auto replies. There are template responses. You can add in a business profile. You can create conversation labels, and you can do two-way conversations. It's very much like your own personal WhatsApp. And essentially, under business information, you're able to just put in a bit of information about your business as you would on a business card or something similar, so that when someone connects to your business on WhatsApp, they have all of this information available to them. It supports very simple auto replies. So when someone sends a message to your business, you can reply with, for instance, the second example, we're only open between 8 and 5. It supports templated responses. So if you get a lot of common questions, you can create templates and basically copy and paste those replies into your conversation on WhatsApp. It supports short links. So you can have a website and you can say, talk to me on WhatsApp, and someone can simply click on a little link. There's an example there. You can create group labels. So when people talk to you, you can group them on WhatsApp under, say, potential orders or deliveries for this Friday or whatever it is that you want to do. And then it supports catalogs. Catalogs are a fairly new feature, but it essentially takes any repetitive work away from you as a shop owner. So here's an example. You can set up a catalog. You can upload images. When someone goes, the center picture, when someone goes to your profile page on WhatsApp, they're able to see your catalog and they can click through it and view items. So again, it's perfect for a small business owner. Considerations for WhatsApp for Business. You'll either need 2 SIM cards if you'd like to run your own personal WhatsApp or WhatsApp for Business on the same phone. Alternatively, you can obviously have 2 different devices. You're able to take your own cell phone SIM card and use that for WhatsApp for Business, or you can swap it back to personal. You can't do both at the same time. So you can't have one WhatsApp account that is acting as, say, your business, and one that's acting personally as well. Quite a cool feature that's launched in India a little while ago, which I think will be incredibly useful for a lot of businesses, is WhatsApp Pay. So essentially, you will be able to apply for a WhatsApp Pay account, which is the top line. Once you've done that, you can receive payments and make payments. So currently on WhatsApp, on the bottom right, you'll have your little paper clip where you can click on that to upload a photo or a video or send a document. You'll be able to tap on that same icon and then choose to do a payment. So that's quite an exciting piece of tech that's coming soon. Then we're going to talk about WhatsApp for Enterprise. And our WhatsApp for Enterprise is where our Boomerang builder will make the most difference. So what is WhatsApp Enterprise? So it essentially provides solutions for large businesses that have got high messaging volumes. So typically a company that has got lots of customers or lots of inquiries that would use WhatsApp Enterprise. It facilitates AI-powered conversations at scale. So you can literally service thousands of customers in the space of a few minutes without any human intervention. So things like someone connects to your WhatsApp line and they want to know what their account balance is, or they want to download their latest statement, or they want to actually ask a question and get an answer from an AI bot, or even a call center support staff. The big challenge with WhatsApp for Business is it's a single user platform. So you can't have 100 different call center agents all replying on your behalf. So WhatsApp for Enterprise is perfect for a bigger corporate or a bank, etc. So as mentioned, it supports up to over 100,000 simultaneous conversations. It can happen. They can be AI powered. It comes with amazing reporting that can be built in. So you can actually see how many people are looking or engaging with your business. You can see what type of information they're asking for, what types of calls and conversations your staff are having. It supports multi-agent access. So again, you can have lots of people engaging. Third-party integrations. So if you are a business with a big CRM system or a big accounts platform, or you're using a SaaS or Google platform, you can integrate all of those with WhatsApp. You've got automated or manual responses. So again, using AI, you can get the bot to do a lot of questions and queries on your behalf. All those questions and queries can be passed through to a human. It also supports content management systems. So you can have various documents. They can be static documents like T's and C's or a catalog. It can also be dynamic documents like my pay slip or my leave register or my account balance, or even applying for an agreement or a contract. Just a few examples. There are lots of use cases for WhatsApp for Enterprise, but here's just a few. So being able to distribute voice messages, videos, images, and PDFs. So if you're a brand, you might distribute a TVC. If you're a business who needs to get documents out, you can do that, etc. Locations. So you can get consumers to drop a location pin and show them location-based information, like which is my closest branch, etc. Data enrichment, so you can build user profiles very easily by asking consumers to give you their name or their date of birth, etc. And you can also track opt-ins, so it's fully POPI compliant. Some other examples are purchases and rewards. So scanning a till slip and earning discounts and distributing airtime and instant rewards. And then on the survey side, it's ideal for surveys because you can ask consumers to send you voice messages to tell you how they feel about a particular product or service. They can send you photos. So if they're unhappy about something, they can send you a photo of the product, and various other types of instant surveys. And then on facial recognition side, because it supports images and video, you can do some very nice security stuff. So you can have a staff member who connects to a WhatsApp line and has to send you a selfie to confirm that they are who they are. You can also use that same technology to track someone's age, gender, emotion, and other bits and pieces, which is great for enrichment. We did send you all a email a little bit earlier, just with a link to a simple WhatsApp demo that was created. So if you guys have a chance, I think just connect to that on your mobiles, and you'll see some of these features in action. Once you've built your WhatsApp bot, it's very easy to get consumers on board. So you can either send an SMS with a little link to the bot. For instance, here's a nice example here where someone can click on it and just instantly open up the WhatsApp conversation. You can do social and paid media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any of those platforms. And then you can also use QR codes. So QR codes, for instance, on a poster or on a till slip, etc. And all of those will instantly launch the WhatsApp bot for you. Just some bits and pieces for you to be aware of. WhatsApp enterprise contact policy, essentially when someone talks to your bot, you can send them messages for 24 hours after their last message. So the idea here is that if someone's engaging with you, your bot can talk to them freely, but if they stop engaging with you, then after 24 hours, you can't send them messages any longer. However, WhatsApp have then released templated broadcast messages, and essentially those are messages that are allowed to be sent to a consumer even if they haven't engaged with you. So an example of that would have been maybe Fly, Safe Air, or one of those platforms that some of you might have engaged with. You would have booked your tickets, and then you would have got a WhatsApp push with your ticket information. And that is how you talk to a consumer after the 24-hour window. And then WhatsApp does have an explicit opt-in policy, which we can help you guys with. Prohibited messaging. So WhatsApp does not allow you to run a campaign or to set up a line if you're trying to sell alcohol or any of these other sectors. How to get up and running with WhatsApp for Enterprise. So step one, you need to have a Facebook business account. I'm sure most of your businesses would already have that. Number two, you apply for access to the WhatsApp API. We can facilitate that, or you can go directly through someone like Clickatel or Messenger People. And then step number three, you contact us and you build your chatbot. We will link your chatbot to your Clickatel, Messenger People, or any other account for you. And as I say, step 2 and 3 we can do for you completely. Typically, the middle piece, which is applying for a WhatsApp Enterprise line, takes between 1 and 2 weeks for Facebook and WhatsApp to approve that. Cool. Now, just to talk about our bot builder. So, when we originally started building WhatsApp lines a couple of years ago, the only way to do that, and for most people, was using the WhatsApp API. That's very complicated and requires a developer who really knows their stuff. And so we eventually realized that we needed a simpler way to do that. So we built Boomerang, which is a platform that makes it easy for anyone to build a WhatsApp line using WhatsApp bot technology. And it basically provides a low-cost, user-friendly way with no necessity for a developer. However, we do have a number of developers that are now using it. Okay, so why did we build it? Because bots have been expensive and complicated to develop, and we wanted a user-friendly, inexpensive platform, and I think a way to get to market faster. So the features of our bot builder, we've got a very simple drag and drop interface. We've got a WYSIWYG editor. We allow you to make instant copy updates. We support all the rich media that is currently available on WhatsApp. And we also allow the green tracking. So that is essentially where you as a company can distribute a mission critical document, let's say a notice of non-payment or a delivery notice or any updates that are important, and we track whether that has been delivered to the consumer as well as whether they've read it. As well as other really valuable insights, which I'll demonstrate to you just now. So just lastly, the templates that we support, again, talking about the types of content that can be sent down. On the left, you've got an example of a very simple text message, which is very much like an SMS style communication. Then you've got image and text, which is a little bit more useful. You've got video and text, and again, that's really great for a company who wants to send a video through to a customer. A big challenge in South Africa is a lot of companies try to send video content, whether it's a TVC or a message to their customers, but because their customers either don't have airtime or they've got a low-end phone, they aren't able to read it or receive it. Whereas within WhatsApp, the video itself is just distributed entirely within WhatsApp. And because a lot of customers have got WhatsApp accounts that allow them to get almost unlimited data, so most networks have got like a R5 deal, they suddenly have access to all this rich media. PDFs and text, again, you can push out a statement or whatever directly to the consumer. You've got call to action buttons, which are great. Again, if you're an airline or something, or in this example, you're distributing a parcel and you want someone to be able to contact you or track a package. We've got some location information that can be distributed with a clickable map. And then we've got quick reply buttons, which is great for things like buying airtime or choosing which package you want, etc. We've got a quick demo that we've put together, and I'm just going to leave this up for 2 or 3 minutes. We did also send everyone a link that you can click from your phone, and that should allow you to engage with a very simple little WhatsApp demo that we've created. I'm going to just give everyone 3 or 4 minutes to do that. I'll restart the presentation in about 2 minutes from now. Okay, everyone, I'm going to now jump into the Boomerang demo. So what we've done is we've created what we feel is a fairly user-friendly platform. And as I say, once you've applied for your WhatsApp line, you will be able to get access to the Boomerang platform. It starts off with a very simple reporting dashboard. This reporting dashboard just gives you a summary based on the time that you've selected around how your bot is doing. So you can see the number of consumers, the number of messages that have come in and out, the types of messages that have been sent, as well as how many consumers are engaging with you per day. You can also see the details of the consumers that have engaged with you. So I'm just going to choose someone randomly here. So you can see the entire conversation that you've had with a particular consumer very easily. And this is really useful because if you're trying to do any customer support, you can see exactly where this particular customer had an issue. And you can then, for instance, reply to them and let them know that you're here to support them and to resolve the challenge that they have. If I refresh this quickly, as you can see, it updates in real time, and so you have access to all the information that you need. It also has events built in. So for those of you who have used something like Google Analytics, you'll be quite familiar with events. But essentially, you can track events or put them into your journey at any point to work out what people are doing. So you can say when someone goes to ask for their balance statement, fire off an event and tell me. If someone goes to a slightly different section, track that. So for instance, I can go down here to the rich media and I can see which of my consumers have looked at a piece of rich media, and I can also export that list of consumers very easily. It also supports, again, a full list, exportable list of all the consumers or customers that have engaged with your bot, so that again you can send them messaging or just see if you can support them. And then on the data enrichment side, we have a fairly comprehensive CRM platform built in, so you can get a whole lot of consumer data and store it, and then choose to do whatever you want with that. And again, the platform is built very much around opt-ins and the POP people to make sure that you don't spam your customers. From the same platform, we're building in the ability for you to message your customers with those templates that are demonstrated a little bit earlier. I'm now going to go into the actual bot builder. So here's my bot interface. I happen to have 4 or more different bots, so it's very easy for me to choose which one I want to report on and which one I want to edit, but I'm going to go and edit the Texas demo bot. So this is the interface. It's a very nice interface with lots of colorful blocks, so it's easy to see what's going on. This is the demo bot that most of you have engaged with. As you can see, it's very intuitive. I can click on a block and see exactly what the conversation will look like. I can move around. I can see exactly what my menu will look like. I'm going to zoom out a bit, and you can see the actual bot builder is made up of a whole lot of what we call cards, and each of those cards does something. So just to run from the top, I've got my first card, which is a text message card, and if I double click that, you can see that it's a very simple interface where I can say whatever I want. I can use all the normal features like emoticons, etc. I've also got built-in variables. Like you would have noticed that it would have greeted you by name. I'm able to use a number of variables and just include them in my message automatically. I won't go into too much detail with this bot because it's quite complicated, but the entire bot that you would have engaged with sits in this flow here. And it might look complicated, but it's just a matter of dropping these individual little blocks in to build your bot. Okay, I'm now going to go and actually change this bot so that all of you can experience sort of how easy it is to do that in real time. So I'm going to start by just deleting the current flow. In fact, I think I'm going to start from scratch. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little demo where we're going to pretend that we are Woolworths, and Woolworths is creating a bot. So just to show you what I did there, I clicked on the plus sign and I'm choosing to send some media. So I'm going to start with the Woolworths logo. And I'm going to say something like, welcome to the bot. And I'm going to put in my name. And maybe a little smiley. So far if I click on that, I can see what my bot's going to look like so far. I'm going to add a short little delay so that my customer doesn't get bombarded with messages. Delays are great because it makes customers feel like they're talking to a person. Because if you have 10 messages that come after each other within a second, it's obvious to everyone that it's automated. I'm now going to add a little menu, and I'm going to ask them what they would like to do. Let me just grab that. Okay, I've got a default reply if someone doesn't answer with 1, 2, or 3. And I'm now going to create a trigger. So a trigger is just something that happens when someone replies with a certain piece of information. So in this case, I'm going to say if someone replies 1, check my account balance, I can do that. If someone replies 2, I can do that. If someone replies 3, I'll do that. Now we support a range of different triggers, essentially everything that is supported within WhatsApp typically. So this is where someone's sending you the word 1, 2, or 3, or the letter 1, 2, or 3. We also support someone sending in an image, a voice message, a video, a location, etc. So we might say, send us your current location and we will send you our 3 closest Woolworths stores. That would be a location input, and the bot will wait for someone to send in a location or an image or a voice message. Right, so what I've done now is I've said, what would you like to do? Check my account balance, download my vouchers, apply for a Woolworths card. Now if someone replies 1, they're wanting their account balance, so I'm going to just add in a little text message saying something like, and I'm going to bold this. For example. And Again, we support static information. So this information would typically be dynamic, but static information or dynamic information where this balance could be fetched. And that would be done where we would use a variable. So I'm going to just use any random variable, like that, for instance, which would then be populated with information that's relevant. The second piece might be I want to download my vouchers. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to say here are your vouchers. And again, this is just a PDF, and it can be dynamic or static information. The third thing I want to do is I'm going to say I want to apply for a Woolworths card. So I'm going to add that in. Just going to add a short delay. And when someone applies for a card, typically they need to either provide some information or something along those lines. So I'm just going to ask this consumer a couple of questions. I'm going to say, what is your surname, for instance? And I'm going to save that to a variable called surname. And I know some of this is getting a little bit more tricky than normal, but I'm just going to give you a quick run through of some of these more advanced features. Surname, and normally you then ask for ID number, possibly a photo of their driver's license or whatever. You can do all of that. But here I'm going to now say, thank you. We will be in touch. For instance, because now you've completed your account. And at this point, we could send them a PDF with their account details, or we can more likely trigger an email through to, let's say, our support team. Let me just send that. Sorry. And I'm going to send an email to accounts at, and we can say, and we can, because remembering that this is a bot that's been set up by Woolworths themselves, so they want their accounts team to get emailed as soon as someone applies for a new account. And here I can include a few bits and pieces. So the customer's name was nickname, and customer's surname is surname, the one that we created, and maybe mobile is the customer's mobile number. Okay, so what this would do is this would trigger an email that would go off to the accounts department at Woolworths, for instance. Now, once we've done that, and once someone's completed any of these flows, you'd want to send them back to the home menu. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a quick little delay of 4 seconds. Once I've got my balance, I'm going to add a little delay of 4 seconds once I've received my voucher. And I'm now going to redirect back to the main menu. So I'm going to add another feature here, which is just a redirect. And I'm going to reroute the customer back to the main menu. And if I click on this, you'll see it's going to show me that the customer is being rerouted back to the main menu. I'm going to do the same here. And here. Okay. So what I've done very briefly is just build in a Woolies bot where you can go and get your account balance, get a voucher, or apply for an account. I'm now going to just save it and choose to publish it live. What this is doing is now saving the bot and publishing it via WhatsApp. So if you guys can go back to the demo bot that we sent you and just send the word hi again. What you'll see is the demo bot will now give you completely different content. And if you click on 1 or 2 or 3, you will receive the information that we just passed through. One or two people on the course are telling me that the line is a little bit slow. So just be patient and hopefully it'll come through. If I go in back to the reporting dashboard, I can see that some people, for instance, Sia has already connected and is able to see the updated bot. So the point is that it's incredibly easy to build a WhatsApp bot and to change it. I'm going to just show you one or two other quick features. So we now have our bot that we've created, and you might choose to make some changes or even realize that you've made a mistake. So one of the features that's been built in, which is really, really useful, is the ability to manage versions. So I can flip through the different versions of my bot very, very easily. It gives a history that goes back as far as you want, so basically a year or more. And you can see all the different versions of your bot, and you can choose to revert back to one and start using an older version or a newer version as you please. And then just in kind of closing, I'm just going to run through some of the features that are available within the bot builder, and we are adding features all the time. So you can send messages, you can send any kind of media, you can add delays, you can share location-based information, as I said, like store locations, etc. You can send contact details. So if you're a financial company, you can send advisor contact cards. You can send audio files, and you can trigger emails. You can do choice-based menus or actions where people have to send in an answer, or they have to send in a type of content. You can ask enrichment questions. You can do integrations with any kind of external platform, whether it's a banking platform or a retail platform. And then you can reroute conversations, create if-else decision trees. You can set variables and various other things. And as I say, we've got features that are launching all the time. All right, I'm going to just switch back to the presentation. So just briefly, some success stories. Tafellager ran a very cool campaign where they allowed people to upload videos of what makes them feel truly Namibian. It created some amazing engagement. There are 11,000 videos. From that, they created a whole music video, which I won't share right now. Cash Crusaders, they are able to answer about 10,000 customer queries a month automatically, which has significantly reduced the calls and emails that they have to deal with. Lance with Cheese drove a trial of their products over a couple of weeks, which was incredibly successful. Again, just to recap, to build your bot, it's 1, register an API, 2, build a bot, and get support from us to take it live. I'm going to stop the presentation. What I'd like to now suggest is if anyone has any questions, we will probably in about a minute open it up for discussion. If I can ask you, you would have received an email from Taz with links to the workshop and various other pieces of communication. If you have any questions that you would like us to answer that aren't appropriate for this call, please email them through to Taz. So it might be questions like, what does it cost? How soon can it get up and running? If you guys would like us to give you a demonstration, all of those things, we can assist with those. Please just let us know. We'd love to help you.